What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. Man, what a roller coaster week it's been for Red Sox fans. You were the highest of highs with the announcement of Rafael Devers' extension. You get the press conference, all of that. And right smack dab in the middle of that, you also get some of the worst news we've gotten this entire offseason, with Trevor Story now needing surgery and could possibly be out for the entirety of 2023. There's a bit of a panic going on in Red Sox Nation right now, because the big question that everyone's asking is, where do we go from here? How do we fill the two massive holes in the middle infield of this Red Sox team, and what do the Red Sox do to figure this out? Well, one of the rumors going around right now is one of the options the Red Sox are interested in is a reunion with a guy who has had a couple of stints on this Red Sox team before, Jose Iglesias. So what we're going to do in this video today is we are going to talk about the possibility of Jose Iglesias to the Boston Red Sox, what rumors are swirling surrounding Jose Iglesias. We're going to talk about why he would or wouldn't fit with this Red Sox team. We'll talk about what a contract looks like, and we'll talk about whether or not at the end of the day, Jose Iglesias makes sense for this Red Sox team. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with how Jose Iglesias and the Red Sox have been connected through the rumor mill lately. According to multiple people and multiple sources, the Red Sox have at the bare minimum expressed interest in possibly signing Jose Iglesias. Now, I've heard all the way from they are actually negotiating to they have reached out to they have expressed interest. So I'm not entirely sure where exactly they are at with reuniting with Jose Iglesias, but there is definitely some interest in bringing back an old friend, because for those of you who may not remember, Jose Iglesias has been on this team in two separate stints. He started with the Red Sox in 2011 through half of 2013, and then he was on this Red Sox team for the second half of 2021, where he played a really pivotal role in being a defensive substitution when we hit that really bad COVID patch in 2021. So he has been on this team for a little bit, and honestly, it makes sense for the Red Sox to be interested in Jose Iglesias. He's not the most exciting player in the world, but he's a guy who could give you serviceable defense as well as serviceable offense for a position that the Red Sox desperately need right now, because over his 11 seasons in Major League Baseball, Jose Iglesias has been fairly solid. He has a career 279 average with a 319 on base percentage and a 382 slug with an 88 OPS plus, which is about 12% less productive than the average player in baseball. So a little bit below average, but nothing crazy. He's not like 50% worse. He's not 30% worse. He's only 12% worse than the average player in baseball throughout that 11-year career. In 2022, he had a bit of a better stat line than his career, but it's right around that same area. He finished 2022 with a 292 average, a 328 on base percentage with a 380 slug and a 90 OPS plus. So about 2% more productive than he's been throughout his career, but again, right around that average. And honestly, all of his statistics combined, even with that 2022 being a little bit higher than regular, he is by definition almost exactly what an average shortstop in baseball looks like. Now, taking a look at his baseball savant page as well, there are some things to be a little bit excited about with Jose Iglesias. One is his strikeout rate, which is in the 95th percentile, making him one of the hardest players to strike out in Major League Baseball, which is a good thing and seems to fit the mold of what the Red Sox are looking for in 2023. He's also in the 98th percentile for whiff percentage, meaning he doesn't swing and miss a ton, right? He's actually one of the best guys in baseball for his swing and miss, according to Baseball Savant page. So those are two things to kind of get excited about with Jose Iglesias and his ability at the plate. However, there are a lot of concerns as well on his Baseball Savant page. Taking a look at some of the bad parts of his page, you're talking about taking walks. He's in the 1 percentile, meaning he's one of the worst players in baseball when it comes to taking walks, which isn't exactly fantastic. His chase rate is really low as well. And then you take a look at his power numbers, and none of them are fantastic. He's never been a power hitter, and this year simply proved that. He is one of the worst power hitters in baseball, again, according to his Baseball Savant page, which could be a problem for this Red Sox team, because after losing Trevor Story, after not retaining Xander Bogaerts, you're missing that power in the middle of the lineup outside of Rafi Devers, and Jose Iglesias is not going to be the guy to bring that to the Red Sox team. But overall, statistically, again, a very average shortstop, a guy who is pretty hard to strike out. Now, defensively, last season, Jose Iglesias was, I would say, decent. He wasn't good. He wasn't really terrible either. He finished 2022 with a -4 in defensive runs saved. So a little bit below average, but nothing crazy. He's also in the 48th percentile for outs above average. So again, nothing crazy, a little bit below average, but not really terrible either. He's kind of smack dab in the middle for shortstop. But if you put him at second base, he may be a little bit better than that, because in 2021, he played 18 games at second base for the Boston Red Sox. So he's already played second base in Boston, and at that position he had 0 defensive runs saved, which is much better than the -4. So in my opinion, if you're looking at Jose Iglesias defensively, it may be a better fit to have him play second base for this Red Sox team. One, I just mentioned he's already played second base in the Red Sox organization, and two, if he's better statistically at second base and you need both at this moment, it may be a better fit for him at second. He also doesn't have the strongest arm in the world at shortstop, so it may be beneficial with the shift to put him at second base. But either way, defensively, again, not a guy who's going to be an all-star Gold Glove caliber type defensive player, but he's going to give you solid everyday defense. All in all, if we're talking straight up statistics, is he a fit for this Red Sox team? I don't really know if the Red Sox have that much of a choice right now. Obviously, Trevor Story going down made it much more difficult to trade for a shortstop and actually come out at the bare minimum breaking even on that trade. If you're trading for any significant impact shortstop right now as the Boston Red Sox, you're more than likely losing that trade. All you're giving up for Jose Iglesias is money. And again, like we've been kind of reiterating throughout the entirety of going through his statistics, he is a very average, decent shortstop option. So what would a contract for Jose Iglesias look like? In my opinion, I would say most people's opinions, Jose Iglesias isn't going to be a guy who's going to demand a super long-term contract, which is good for this Red Sox team, who seems pretty hellbent on making sure there is a path to the major leagues for some of their middle infield prospects. It's more than likely they're trying to focus around having an opening for Marcelo Meyer, but there are a couple guys as well who they could be having an eye on for having a clear path, guys like Nick York, Mikey Romero. So at the end of the day, it doesn't look like the Red Sox are looking for a super long-term deal, and Jose Iglesias isn't a guy who's going to be demanding a long-term deal. In my opinion, the perfect contract for Jose Iglesias in terms of years is sitting right around 2-ish years. So in that 1 to 3 years range would make sense for this Red Sox team. Now, taking a look at the monetary value of what Jose Iglesias is worth, Sports Track has Jose Iglesias worth and most likely net value sitting right over $5 million a year. Now, again, Jose Iglesias, his agents, everyone knows that the Red Sox are desperate for middle infield depth, so it may cost a little bit more than $5 million a year to get him here. You're probably looking at a 2-ish year contract sitting around $7 million. So a 2-year, $14 million contract. Maybe you throw in a club option after the second year, something like that. But at the end of the day, again, not a long-term deal, not a guy who's going to be super expensive. So monetarily, it makes sense for the Red Sox to bring him here. All in all, combining statistics and contracts, again, it makes sense right now for this Red Sox team to go after a guy like Jose Iglesias. He's a stopgap shortstop, gonna give you at least, at the bare minimum, league average to close to league average production at the plate. And again, if you could put him at second base and he can be above at least average defensively, play a guy like Kike at shortstop because I trust Kike more defensively, to me that makes the most sense. But like I said when we were talking about the statistics, beggars can't really be choosers here, and Jose Iglesias is a guy who's going to give you close to league average production, and at the end of the day, be a guy who can fit in the middle infield and play every single day. So not exactly super exciting, but definitely a guy I wouldn't hate bringing to this Red Sox team. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of Jose Iglesias to the Red Sox? What do you think of the rumors? What do you think of the statistics, the contract, everything? Would you, if you were the Red Sox, go after Jose Iglesias? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. Not only do we talk Red Sox content almost every single day, but you made it to the end here, you might as well hit that sub button. You also might as well hit that like button as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seat.